way better
Look,
than you,
hold
bro.
on, look, on Sosa.
Because
He
he
don't
know
even
you a
have
rat.
nothing to do with
Fuck
nothing.
Sosa. He know you a rat.
Damn,
Alright, go
fuck
ahead, bro.
Sosa. Y'all
Damn,
be
why
letting
is
this
it
type
fuck?
of shit go
Nah, brother,
on,
don't
Cap.
say
This
that
what I be
though.
talking
Oh,
about,
it's
fuck.
fuck Sosa.
This
Nah,
what I
nigga,
be
I don't
talking
care about
about.
none of that. Nigga,
This
I
what I
don't
be
care about
talking
none of that.
about.
Ah, it's
On my
fuck
mama, I don't
Sosa.
care about none of that.
When you really sit back and analyze how neighborhood alliances are formed, you'll start to notice that most of them are not built off genuine chemistry. They're built off convenience. 9 times out of 10, two sections, crews, or neighborhoods become cool, not because they share the same values, structure, or internal politics, but because they share the same opposition. In other words, the enemy of my enemy becomes my friend. And while that may sound strategic on the surface, in reality, it's often a temporary band-aid over long-term incompatibilities that nobody is addressing in the moment. At first, everything feels solid. You're sliding together, showing mutual love on social media, pulling up to the same functions, and even standing side by side when it's time to apply pressure. But what people fail to realize is that you're not just forming a bond between two names. You're merging dozens, sometimes hundreds, of personalities, egos, temperaments, and internal politics into one shared ecosystem. And the more people you have that are cool with each other, the more potential problems you introduce into that ecosystem. Because now, it's not just about whether the neighborhoods get along, it's about whether every individual inside those neighborhoods gets along. You might have one homie who's disciplined, structured, and understands diplomacy. But on the other side, there might be someone who's emotional, impulsive, and doesn't know how to let things go. Multiply that by 20, 30, or even 50 different members interacting at parties, in county jail, on the streets, or even online. And eventually somebody is going to say the wrong thing, look the wrong way, step on the wrong shoes, talk to the wrong female, or misinterpret a situation entirely. And that's all it takes. One misunderstanding, one fight, one jealous individual, one person trying to prove themselves, one person that feels disrespected and decides to crash out. Now, what started off as a minor personal issue between two individuals becomes a neighborhood issue because pride, reputation, and loyalty start getting involved. Nobody wants to look weak. Nobody wants to be the side that's seen as backing down. So now, leadership has to step in, lines start being drawn, sides are chosen internally, and before you know it, two neighborhoods that were once locked in through a click-up are now looking at each other as opposition. History has shown us time and time again that some of the most dangerous conflicts come from former allies because there's history there. There's familiarity. People know where each other hang out, who's related to who used to be around during certain situations, and that betrayal element adds an extra layer of tension that didn't exist before. And this is why it's so important for neighborhoods to stay rooted in themselves and stick to what they know. Unity should never be rushed just because of a shared enemy. Because once that common enemy disappears, gets locked up, moves away, or the situation dies down, what's left holding that alliance together? If the answer is nothing but convenience, then eventually the foundation is going to crack. Another major lesson here is understanding that access is a double-edged sword. The more access you give people into your circle, the more opportunities there are for friction, miscommunication, jealousy, and internal politics to develop. Everybody isn't meant to be around everybody, and forcing unity where there is no natural alignment can create long-term instability that ends up doing more harm than good. So the takeaway from all of this is simple. Just because two groups share an enemy doesn't mean they share the same mindset. The more individuals involved in an alliance, the higher the probability of internal conflict. Personal issues can quickly escalate into collective problems when pride and loyalty are on the line. Former allies often become the most dangerous opposition due to familiarity and history, and sometimes maintaining respectful distance is more beneficial than forcing a partnership that isn't built to last. In the long run, structure, discipline, and self-containment can prevent situations that turn friendships into feuds, because once those lines are crossed, it's very hard to go back to how things used to be.